Yeah, we're going to do hooks. And so let me see whether I'm live. So I'll do, and we have a lot to cover. So I'll start now. Hello, all. I'm live. So yesterday I forgot to share the screen. So let me share the screen first. Entire screen. Sec. Okay. So yeah. So I'm sharing my screen. And what I've done, this is the code which we have done in the past 3 days, the class-based code. And I just now created a new React app, npx create React app. Hope I am audible and all. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm audible. Okay. So what I did, with this command, I have created a new React app because the hooks I want to show you a new thing. So this is the command which I have run. Then I'll go to cd hooks, and then I'll start it with VS Code with code dot, and then npm start. And start I do going to bring this out here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my here, do some not many things. Just I will do one thing. This index.js. I will remove this thing, or else what happens in React? This is not a strict mode like Angular. What happens in React? The console log comes 2 times. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so I have removed this, and now we are going to, as I've told earlier, also the hooks. Also, I'm going to compare it with the state-based React, which I've done for the last 3 days, and then we're going to see the hooks. Okay, so the first thing is that I'm in the src. Okay, app.js. I'll go, and then I will remove all these things. This all I'll remove, save it. Okay, so nothing is been shown, and I'll go here src and create a new components folder. In this components folder, I will create the first component. And as I've told, we are going to do hooks. But the thing is that I'm going to first create a class-based thing, then I'm going to convert it into a hook-based. Okay. So like that, I'm going to do. And so there were two things which were not there in earlier in function call. One is the state, and the next thing is the lifecycle method. But React implemented both of them in React 16.8 in mid of 2020, because class based, as you have seen in the past 3 days, it is a bit complicated. And the next thing is that React was also finding some issues with that, and with hooks, like React has become 10 times more easier than it used to be earlier. Okay, so that is there. So in the components, I'll create a new component called class component dot js. Class component, class, not class component, is class counter dot js. I'll do, and then rce. We are creating a class base because we're going to change it to hook based. Okay, so that is there, and I'm going to have a very simple counter example here. Okay, so this counter example we have seen a lot of times. This class counter, I will include the class counter, so it will be showing. So this class counter, I will go, and here let me create a very simple counter, and here r const is there, and here I will have a count is 0, and I will make it like this. And we've seen all of these things earlier. Okay, so then this I will do, and here a button I'll do, and button, in this button I'll have a on click equal to, the first thing is that I want to show the count is this dot state dot count. And let me add this also. This is on click is like I will directly change the state by to do it one more time. So this I do, and then this dot set state is count is this dot state dot count plus one. Okay, so we know these things. We know this thing, and it will increase the count. So we know this thing because we've seen this thing for the past 3 days. Now I'm going to convert this into a hook. So how do I do that? So first I will go here, and in this component, I'll create a new hook counter. Earlier functional component didn't have the state concept. It was introduced in 2020 with hooks. So hook counter, and then it will be a functional RFCE, totally functional, and then it is there. Then what I'm going to do, so the same thing which we are going to do here. So here again, I'm going to have a button here, and this I will call as hook count. Let maybe I will show this also here. Hook counter like this. I'll do and save it, and a hook counter is shown. So now how to have the state? Actually, functional component doesn't have the state concept. Functional component doesn't have the concept of this keyword also. This keyword is a very, very, very complicated thing. It doesn't have the concept of this keyword. So how does it implement the state? It implement the state. And if state and props and all those things are implemented in the class-based component from this component which React had given us. So React has created some special kind of small functions known as hooks, which are used in React to get the state also, lifecycle method also. So how to get the state here? Okay, so I'll write some code. So const count, we're converting the same code. Okay, set count equal to use state. See this use state 0. Use state is imported from here, like the component was imported, use state is imported. Okay, and let me complete the code, then I will tell what is happening. And then this hook count, I can directly have this count here, and this button will be on click equal to set count of count. That's one. Save it. And I'll do one more thing here. Okay, first thing is that they see this, it is working fine. Means some state variable kind of a thing is working. Okay, so that is there. So the next thing which I want to show is like I'll split it, and okay. So see, what's the difference here? What's the difference here on how it has been found? So this was our earlier code, and this is our current code. Okay. The first thing is that count is created with this use state hook, which is a function is there. Okay. And then it is having something known as array destructuring, which is a ESX concept, in which this count will be assigned the value of 0. But one thing we should know, this count is assigned the value 0, but it doesn't means that this is a state. Okay, this is an object. This dot state is actually an object. It is not. It can be something else also. Sometimes it causes some problem also. And then this set count. What is this set count? Set count is the replacement of set state. You can see that set count is used here in the place of set state. And set state, what I'm doing here, just updating the object. And the code might seems much more complicated, but here I'm directly increasing the count value, like count plus one. But actually here also this state concept is happening, and this return function is actually it is sort of a re-render again and again, run again and again, like this render function, it runs again and again. That's why the count was increasing, and there is no this concept, there is no state keyword directly we can access it, but it is actually state. Okay, so that is there, and this is how the state is implemented here. Now the next thing which we are going to do is it's like okay. Okay, so as I've told, this is my earlier code. Okay. let's do one thing. So this is for reference side open. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's see this special case when we were having this thing, and because of that we have to use this previous state thing. So let's see that special case right now. So what happens if you have something like this here? So this, okay, I will now first thing I'll close this thing and make it a bit smaller, maybe this much. Okay. So this was there, and we use the concept of prev state, or like a previous state. So how to use the concept of previous state here? So here I will have a button, another button. I will have, okay, and let do one thing, not here, but here. Okay. So let me have only this hook counter here. So I will have another button. This button will be just like an increment 5 is there. So increment 5, and maybe I will call this increment only, and this count, let's show it in H1. Okay. It's like this count, I'm showing it above. So this button is the increment 5. I will save it, and so this button is there. Let us fix something here. Okay, let us do something like this, doing it in a very fast rate. So, and we know it will not work. So here I cannot do something like this because I already made it here. So let's do one thing. I will create a function here, which I will call it from on click. I'll call this function on click equal to increment 5. See, there is no this keyword. There is no this keyword. Then I will go here and do a const good evening increment 5. Good evening, Imran, increment 5. Then like this, increment 5. I will have a for loop here. Normal for loop I will have. For let I equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. Like this, I will have, and then set count is count plus 1. See, I'm doing plus 1, not plus I. So means it will run 5 times. Just like this case, which you have seen that time, it will run 5 times. Okay, so it will run 5 times. Now save it. Then I'll go back, and then increment is working fine. But see, this is only increasing 1. Again, the same problem, because React does performance optimization. So we have to use the previous state here also, because I see all this concept from the class-based concept are coming to now hook, now coming to the functional. Okay, so here what I can do, instead of this count, see the this code is a bit more complicated. Okay, so you see this code now. Okay, set count is prev state, and like this previous state, and prev state plus 1. Previous state is previous state plus 1. Okay, now go back here, and this is also working fine, and this is also working fine. So the code is much more simpler in hooks. Okay, so that's why people prefer hooks. That's why so many people were there were asking about hooks and hooks, because in the internet in the past 2 years, if you see all the projects, all those big clones projects, you can see Uber clone and all those things, you'll see that people are using hooks only. People don't use anything else. Okay, that is there. State is done. Now I will do this. Now state is done. Okay, so now there is another concept in class based, which is known as lifecycle method, which are actually very important. Like the we saw the component did mount and component did update lifecycle method. So there is one more lifecycle method, which is known as component with unmount. That also is something which we are going to see. That happens when the component is unmounted. That happens when the component is unmounted, and that is something which we are going to see. So there is a mounting phase, there is a updating phase, and there is a unmounting phase. And again, I'm going to show the example through a okay. So again, as I told, I'm going to show this example through first a class based, and then I'm going to convert it into a hook based. And this way, we will revisit our life cycle methods also again. Okay. So this time, what I'm going to do? Let me first call this class counter and all. Okay. And here class counter I'll call. Class counter will be showing this thing. Now, whatever is the state, I want to show it here also in the React app. Also, I want to show. So I can access this with something known as document.title. So how do I do that? And where should I do that? I should do that access only in component did mount. Once this all thing is rendered, so I'll go here and do a component did mount and document dot title equal to big dollar this dot state dot count times state. Click 0 times is coming. Okay, click 0 times is coming, and this count is there. So I'm increasing it. But it is not increasing. It should be 2, 3, 4. It is not increasing because this component did mount and constructor runs only during the initial mount. So when the state is changed, this doesn't run. And this is a very important example of this. So what lifecycle method runs? Good evening, Anup. What lifecycle method runs? The lifecycle method which runs in the updating phase is the component did update. Component did update. And here I'll have a piv props comma piv state, piv prompts from previous state and document. Okay, same thing I will have. So why to write it again? So this thing I'll have, and it generally take piv prop and previous state also. Let's save it. Now I'll come back here. So now again, by the mounting phase, the component did mount ran, it made it cease. Then I will click it. See, it is also increasing fine. So means the next time onward, the component did update is running. Okay. So these are the two lifecycle method and very practical use of it. Now we're going to change it into hooks. So we are going to change it to hooks. So for that, we are again going to do it in the same file. Okay. Maybe I don't want. Okay, no problem, no problem. Let it be there. Let it be there. Let this increment 5 be there. I will do it in this only because this is having the state only. Okay, so what I'm going to do here again, I want to change this thing. So first thing is that I want to have this hook counter. Yeah, let's save it and hook counter. So hook count is 0. I want to show this here also. It is why it is not going. Okay, so that is there. So now we don't have like this lifecycle methods in a functional component. So what to do here? So the thing to do here is the instead of the lifecycle method in functional component through hooks, we have something again a hook, no, like the use state hook was there. We have something known as a use effect hook. Use effect hook again. It is used in a different way like this. It is used. So it is not the syntax is not same. Inside this, I'm calling a function, and then I will do the same thing, which is like this document dot title. But there is no this dot state. I can directly access it with the count. Save it. Now, see, clip 0 time is coming. I'll increase it. It is increasing. It is increasing. It is increasing. It is also increasing from here. Okay. It means it is increasing fine. So the moment I'm doing this, it is increasing. It means what is hook use effect is a big hook. Okay, it is generally used in 5 different ways, and we're going to see all those 5 different ways. And in the most basic format, it's the replacement of lifecycle method. Use state hook is the replacement of state. Use effect hook is the replacement of lifecycle method. So now this use effect is there. Okay, So this use effect, there are different formats of use effect we're going to see. This use effect in its most basic format is a combination of both of this lifecycle matter, component did mount and component did update. So functional component also goes through both of the things like mounting phase and updating phase. So in both phases this will run. That's why we are getting this. So it's a combination of this, all these lines. So that's why people love hooks. But the use effect hooks is not that easy because it is used in 2-3 different configurations. Okay, so that is there. Now we are going to see the next example. In this next example, what I am going to do, first I'm going to go to this class counter, and this class counter, and we are going to see the conditional use effect, how to use the condition with some condition. Okay, so here I'm going to have, again I'm going to do this in the class counter again. Okay, and now I will go here and have another variable known as name is else. Then I will go and here we'll have a input, this input, like this input type text. So this is class based I'm doing, where value equal to this dot state dot name, and on change equal to e, this dot set state name is e dot target dot value. So this is how we do it. Okay, let's save it. Now the thing, okay, so now what I want to do, I want to have some console logs here. Okay, clg updating document title, updating document title, save it. Now I'll go to this console and I will click here. So it is increasing updating document title. That is good, updating document title. But if I do here also, then also updating document title, which is not good. Which is like the thing which you are seeing right now. It is use of performance optimization. See, this component did update should only run when the your title is getting updated or the title state is getting updated. Not, it should not run when some other state is getting updated. So it's a very big problem in React, especially in bigger projects. So where this performance optimization is very important, especially in project which are like Facebook big. So that will not big, medium range projects also this thing happens, because I've seen this lot in my career. Like when the projects gets like a slightly big, like 1 lakh lines of words, these issues happens. So we are going to go here, how to fix this issue in a class based. So in class based, we have access in the component did update, we have access to something as preprox and previous state. So we are going to use the prev state. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, if state dot count is not equal to this dot state dot count, then what I'm doing. Okay, so if this is not equal, then show this thing. What is this? I will tell soon. Okay, so I will come here again and I will do this count. It is increasing, fine, that is okay. But if I write something here, it is not increasing. Why? Suppose right now the count is 8. Right now the count is 8. Count is 8 means previous state, like the count is 8, and when I click it and it became 9, so I get this updating document data. Why? Because the previous state dot count is 8 and the current state dot count is 9, so it is not equal to, so this is go inside. But if I write something here, what will happen? Look, we are not touching the count, we're touching the name. So previous, we're touching the name, we're not touching the count, we're touching the name. So previous state dot count is 9, current state dot like the current state dot count is also 9. So both of them are 9. So it will not go inside. They're equal to, so it will not go inside. So that is there. Now we're going to change the same thing in a hook count. Okay, So again, how to do it here? Like a new state, so I'll const name, comma, set name equal to use state, and something like this I'll do. And then I will have another thing here, like PLG use effect updating document, PIPLE updating document title. Like this I'm going to have it here. And then I will also going to have a input box here. Type is text, value is equal to name, on change is equal to e, and set name e dot target dot value. Save it, and then I will have this hook counter here. Save it. So the hook counter is coming, and refresh it. So use effect updating document title is going. And if I increment it here, so again, if I increment it here, so this will increment, this will also increment. But if I write something here also, it will increment. So this is not a good thing. Again, so how to do performance optimization here? So this use effect runs only if the count is increased, not the name is increased. So for that, I have to come here and do a comma, and this I have to do. So use effect is used in 2-3 different ways. Okay, so comma and a bracket I have to give, and then here I have to make the count. I have to write the count. I have to write the count here. I have to write the count here. Okay, count. I will write here count like this. So it means that this use effect in the like mounting phase, in the updating phase, it should only run if the count is changed. If the count is changed. Okay, so like this, I'll do and refresh, and then increment. It is working fine. But the moment I write something here, it will not increase it because I'm not updating the count, I'm updating the name. So this is how the second way of the this use effect we have learned. Use effect, a conditional use effect. Now we are going to see three more types of use effect. Use effect is more bigger than the use state. Okay, so but we have seen enough of count example. So let us see some other examples. So I'll close these things, and I will now create a. Again, we're going to see class based and a hook based both. So I'll create a class class mouse.js, class mouse.js, RCE I'll do. Then this will be done. Then this will be done. And let us have this class mouse here. Let's save it. Class mouse is going in here, and then our const will be there. And here I'm going to have x equal to 0, comma y is also 0. So these two things I'm going to make x and y at 0, and then what I'm going to do here in the div, I'm going to go and then x is this dot state dot x, comma y is this dot state dot y. I'll save it, and this will be shown like this. Now, what I want to show, I want to like update this based on the mouse position. So how do I do this? Okay, so for doing that, we'll have a function log mouse position equal to e, like this, and then this dot set state x is e dot client x, comma, okay, it's giving me error because set state should be an object. Y is e dot client y, e dot client y like this, and then okay, how to call it? See, I will call it through component did mount like this, window dot add event listener, and this event listener will be mouse move, and this dot log mouse position, this dot log mouse position I'll do this dot log mouse position I'll do. And now why I have put it inside the component did mount. So I put it inside this component did mount. So this is the event listener. Event listener in React, we put it in the component did mount because React is not like JavaScript. If you put it anywhere, it will not work. So we put it inside component did mount because the event listener should be fired only once. Event listeners keeps on listening, listening, listening. If you are going to fire it a lot of times, then a lot of threads will be created and the project will get slow. So our event listener is created, which is known as mouse move, and this will uh, fire the moment it detects some mouse move. Okay, so mouse move, and what it will fire and call this log mouse position. Log mouse position, suppose this x position is changed by 1, like right now it is 0. So the moment it is changed like a little bit, it will update the state and then this will rerun again. So this will be looking like this. Okay, this will be looking like this. And let me have some console logs here because we are going to need this soon. So clg, and I'll have, see, this component did not ran only once. After that, this logmas position is done. That is what I wanted. Okay, so that is done. So now we are going to change it into hooks. Hooks. Okay, so let us do that in hooks. Mouse dot js ReactJS. So first let us change this like x and y and all. Let us change this. So I'll do a const x comma set x equal to use state of 0, const y comma set y equal to use state of 0, and make it hook x. Directly I can access this x, and y I can directly access this y like this. Okay. Mm, y is small. This y should be capital. Save it, and but I'm not showing it, so I'll go here, do a hook mouse, save it, hook mouse, and it is showing this thing. Now how to update it? So again, we'll have a log mouse position. So const log mouse position to e, that x is e dot client x, and set y is e dot client y. So like this I've done. Okay, so log mouse position I've done like this. So that is there. Now how to implement this? Okay, one more thing. I will have this also here. Oh, no, it is not class mouse, it is hook mouse. So now how to have a component did mount here? So component did mount or anything you want, you need to have the use effect here. Okay, so use effect like this. But the problem, I will tell the problem with UseEffect. Okay, so the problem with, again, I will copy both of these things. Mouse, UseEffect. Now I have to use it like this. Okay. So the problem with this is like this. If I run it like this, what will happen? The thing which will happen, like I have told earlier that I want the event listener to be fired only once. That's why I did with the component did mount. But here the use effect is a combination of component did mount and component did update. So how do I do that? So for that, what React have? So if I want to run the use effect only in the component did mount way, I do a comma here and do this empty bracket here. This is a very important configuration of use effect, because this is how we are going to do the API call also. I'm going to save it. Okay, so I'm going to close it and then I'm going to refresh it again. So now see, hook effect, hook effect is only, hook use effect is only called once, and then the hook log mouse position is calling so many times. So this is how it is done. So now the next thing which we are going to do is the use effect with cleanup, and this is where the component will unmount comes, which we have not seen when we're seeing the lifecycle method, which we have not seen that. So we're going to see this here also. So for this, what I'm going to have, I'm going to come here and create a new file known as mouse container.js, mouse container.js, then RAFCE, mouse container.js, RAFCE. I have done. Now here, go and do a mouse display, set display equal to use state. So I have this function like display and set display. Then what I'm going to do here, div, I'll have a button here. Button will be known as toggle display, and then on click will be doing that display is not of display. So means if it is true, it will make it false. If it is false, it will make it true. Okay. So initially it will be true. So I'm going to use this. Okay, this thing. And if the display is true, then I'll do this and. So and operator is used to, like, if something is true, then only the right hand side will be shown. So if it is this is true, display is true, then it will, this is a very common pattern in React to show some component. If it is false, it will not show that thing. Okay. So I'll do this class mouse. I'll show this class mouse like this. And one more thing I'm going to do, this mouse container will be shown. Okay, not the hook mouse from here. Save it, and this okay, I have not saved this thing, so that's why it is giving error. So okay, so this is not done. So now initially what is happening is toggle display is coming from this mouse container button, and this class mouse is showing this thing. Okay, this thing it is showing. So now if I come here and do this, and it is like this. Okay, so it is showing 2-3 times. Okay. Okay, class mouse component did not, and then this showing like class mouse, log mouse position, and all this is showing. So that is good. But when I toggle display, that is gone. That component is gone. That class mouse component is gone. So it should be when something goes away in any programming language, it should be destroyed properly. There should not be a trace left of it. But there is still trace left of it, because this class mouse position log mouse is running. Means this is running. Still it is running. Means this event listener is still there. So this is also known as memory leak in any project. So how to solve this thing, which is known as memory leak? So to solve this problem, we will have another lifecycle method, not a hook right now, which is known as component will unmount here. And I will also copy these two things. And here it will be class mouse component will unmount. And there is something known as remove event listener. So I'll do this thing. So when will this fire? This be fired. Okay, so let me again remove this thing. Come here, refresh it. So initially, this is fired. Then the class mouse log mouse position is fired. The moment I do this, see, class mouse component will unmount is called. And now if I go here, nothing is there. So this is how you do it. Like, and now the this memory leaks you stops and component will unmount run. Now the same thing how we are going to do in hooks. Okay, the same thing we have to do in hooks. So for that, hooks have a like a different way. Okay, different way to do this thing. And for that, here instead of class mouse, I'll have a hook mouse. Hook mouse I'm going to have. Give it. Again I will go again. I have the same problem. I'll do it, then also it is going. So again the same problem is there. So now I will go here. How to implement this component will be unmount. Again, we don't have a function like this in a hook. So hook in a different way we need to do it. Here what happens, I will go here and do a return like this, and then same thing I'm going to copy this unmounting code here. This mouse and mounting code I'll write, and there is not this keyword, so I will remove this, save it. Now well again go here, refresh it, running. The moment I do a toggle display, hook mouse unmounting code, and now it is not working anymore, not working anymore. So that is done. And then now, how to fetch data with UseEffect? Yeah, so the fetching data is also something which you're going to do right now. So how to fetch data? So because we fetch data with component did mount, so we've seen that. Okay, let me open that. Okay, where is my user list and users? And I think users.css is also there. So user list. Okay, let me quickly create these two things because I will again put it inside this only. So user.js is anyway a functional component which is taking the user and displaying it. And then I'll do this user.css. I think that's only one thing. Yes, and save it. Now User list is there. Let us create this user list dot js. So this user list dot js I created. Okay, so here it will be a functional RAFCE functional. Now the first thing is that we are again going to use the fetch API only. So we're going to convert this program into like this. How we do it. The first thing is that everything is coming in this user. So how we do that? So I'll do a const users comma set users equal to use state, because I want a state variable which will hold the empty array like this users. So I've converted this thing. Now where do I do the API call actually? API call, what is the replacement of component did mount? Component did mount replacement is use effect hook. But the problem is that use effect hook, if I use it like this will run the component did update also, and we should not do API call more than once. So I'll do this comma and do this. Now it's a component did mount code. Okay, so now let me copy this thing. Okay, but the problem with this is that, so fetch API. Okay, if I do this thing, there is something async. So async is something I cannot make the use effect async. Why? Because use effect, inside the use effect there is another function is running. So component did not was the function, use effect is not the function. So how do I solve that issue? So if you want to use async await, you should do a like inside use effect you should create another function like const fetch users equal to async. Yes, I will paste it here, but I have to call this thing also. Okay. So fetch users, I'll call like this, and this users, instead of the set users, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, oh, yeah. So I'm going to do the set users directly the users. I'm going to say, okay, directly the users, it will come like this. Okay, so this code we have converted to this code. Now I can actually, we don't have this dot state, so I can directly use this thing. Don't have like this dot state and all, but this is showing error because this we have to import. And why it is not importing? It is not importing because I know why it is not importing. I have seen this issue lately. You have to that file open, then you will import. Save it. Now user test. I'll do it. Save it. See, everything is working fine. Everything is working fine. So this is how this is working. Okay. So we have two more things left here, but before that, let me quickly send the today's attendance. Final attendance is here. Final attendance, please fill it. Okay. So now again, I'm going to open this thing. We are going to see the context API now. So two topics are remaining: context API and user. So context API is again like very easy. Like here we have this. Where is the child? Child, child, parent, grandparent, child, parent, and then in the app.js we have yeah. So this logic I was looking about, child and parent and child, because grandparent is also there, so we'll create that also. Okay, so child, we were having this render props thing, and there is one more thing here, user context is also there, but I'll show one more pattern in which the user context file is not required. Let us first create the child. So I'll come here, do a child.js. So today it will be a bit more. So it will be a bit more. Today it will go till another 10-15 minutes. Okay. So today is the last day. Hope you know. Okay. So today is the last day for ReactJS. So another 15 minutes and the course is done. Okay. So child.js I've done, and then RAFCE. Today is the day 4, last day. Why this? Okay. So that is there. Save it. Thank you. Okay, save it, and now this child I have created. So similar to this child, then the parent will be there. So we will go here and do a parent.js, and then again RAFC, because this time I'm creating all functional components. Okay, this parent.js is there, and this parent.js will call the child, just like that. Child, it will call the child. Then we have a Kiwi series till the ending of ReactJS, etc. Batch session means regular batch. Yes, we have regular batches. The next batch is starting from 10th Jan. Okay, 10th Jan. So I think 10th Jan, yeah. So one sec, let me post, like if someone is asking, why not? So, and we have some special New Year offers also going on. Okay, so let me do. Someone is asking, not. So this is a online batch which is starting from 10th Jan. Okay, so you can look, and we have some special New Year offer going on. We are giving it at a throwaway price. We have never given in India such a throwaway price. Okay, so like we are giving it at 5,000 only. Okay, so that is there now. Yeah. So we are coming to so this child is there. Someone is telling that please continue this live series till the ending of React.js advanced one. So this is like fourth day, but React.js advanced series is different. See, if you go to our channel, we have everything like React.js advanced series is also there, in which we do router and Redux. Okay, so that is also there in the channel. We teach everything for free, and we have our own 2-month patches also going on, in which we do the mentoring and the job assistance, and all those things are there. Okay, so you can check out my profile and LinkedIn, and all you'll find more about me and who am I if you are coming here for the first time. Okay, so this child is there, then this parent is there, and then I'll come here and do a grandparent.js, grandparent.js, and here RAFCE grandparent, and this grandparent will let's call this parent. Parent it will call. So like this it will be called, and now I will have here come here and call the grandparent. So as told earlier also, if I want to pass some data from the grandparent from this app to the child, I have to forcibly pass it through grandparent to parent. That is known as prop drilling. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So what to do? So we use context API just like we used it here. Let me see right now what is showing. Okay, child is showing. Okay, so that is okay. So I want to do this context API thing like this. We will provide the context API, and please go through our previous class to see what we have done. So context API, we have to create something like user context. There is another way to do this thing. Instead of creating the user context in a different file, you can create it in app.js file. You'll find this thing a lot, like in the app.js only this is created. Okay, so that is there, and so the same thing I'm going to create it here. So for that, one more thing is required. Otherwise, it will give me error. IMR import React from React, and then export const user context equal to React dot create context. React dot create context. Okay. You use the context is React dot create context. Then how to have this provider and all here. Maybe I'll make this a bit smaller. Okay, so how to have this provider and all. Okay, so we have created the context like this. Okay, and now we are going to just wrap it around it, exactly same kind of thing, but we have done it in a same file. So I'll come here and do a user context dot provider like this, and value equal to same. Will do. Save it. Now again, the we are going to first see the complicated way, which is like through render process pattern, and then we're going to see the easy way. Okay, so here I want to show it. So how do I show it? How do I show that Nabendu value here? So I will come here, and instead of this like directly, let me use it. User context dot consumer. So we have the provider and the consumer. So like this, we have the provider and consumer. So user context dot consumer, and this I will do here. Then I will show the user like this. Okay. It's like the same thing I'm doing. So I am writing it again. So why not copy paste it? Because I'll save it now. This is how we pass the data. But I'm not shown the complicated thing here. So we can complicate this thing further. How we can complicate this thing further? Even I could have complicated it here, but I didn't complicate it. Suppose I want to pass some other thing through the context. So we cannot pass something here like the props. I cannot pass it because the value is a keyword. So what we generally do, we do like this. Okay. So maybe this is the CHA and an EL channel context, and then I'll come here and do a CHA and LEL channel context dot provider. See, provider is something which you cannot change. Provider, and then I will make this top like this. Channel context dot provider, and value is TWDs, our channel. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to TWD. Okay. So TWD, well, it's TWD, and the provider we cannot change. But see, now I'm going to back to the child and see. You'll see that it will become even more complicated. That's why this pattern is not recommendable. And we have a very easy thing which I'm going to show next. And I could have used it here also. Okay. So this complicated thing. So now here, how is it complicated? First thing is that it's very complicated. Okay. So I will cut it now. I will do a return like this. Then I have to do a channel context dot consumer like this. And let me have this again like this. And CHA and then your channel this. mm, like this, and have some too many brackets. Child component and all this is good. Child component, and then I will have a h2 channel is CHA and then even channel is channel. I'll save it, and if I go back here, okay. So if I go here, I'm going to see the channel. So that is working fine. But as you can see, like this has become even more complicated than this. Like inside this, again, you have to do. So we never follow this pattern. We do we follow this pattern? This pattern was also very complicated. Not complicated. There is a lot of keywords, and this pattern. There's a limitation in this pattern. The limitation is that we can use in a case in which we are only passing one context. If we are passing two contexts, we cannot use it because it is used with the this dot context. So in functional component, we have a very cool thing known as use context API, use context hook, use context hooks. Like you'll see now how easy it is. So we're going to use it here. And I'm going to go and do a const user equal to use context, and you have to pass that. So use context is the hook, like a use effect, like your use state. It's a hook, and user context like this, and const, and this user is not a keyword. You can use anything like CHA. You can use C also instead of channel. I can use C also. Use context and channel channel context. Okay, use context and channel context. So this is also important. See all this import is happening when I'm pressing this. Okay, and then you can like directly use it. Like it is. I will make a segment, and then I will use a H1. Use context is user. See, we are going a bit faster because in YouTube we generally go a bit faster, and in like course we have to go a bit slow because we have a lot of students are there. So it would take a bit slow. Means I'm talking about my paid course. So it would go a bit slow. People ask a lot of questions. We cannot do those things on YouTube. Like live courses on Zoom. So we do answer a lot of things. Okay. So that is a difference. That is the only difference. I'll save it now. User and channel. Now I'll go here. Now see. I'm like having both of these things. So this is how good it is. This is how good it is. Okay. So that is their context API. Now we're going to see the last thing. Yeah, okay. And the last thing is actually very easy. I will not take much time. Is this refs? So refs is also there here. So we're going to see that. Okay. So refs. I'm going to have the refs demo.js, refs demo.js. Then refc. The only difference is that it is refce. And next thing is that instead of your okay, so instead of a constructor, we have something else. Okay, so let me tell. So first thing is const. I'll take the same thing, same name. Okay, const name ref. I'm taking the same example, name ref equal to use ref. So now there is a hook known as use ref. Like this, we have to do it. User react.create ref, we have this hook. Okay, and then const comment ref equal to use ref, like this, use ref. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this forms here. Forms, but there is no this keyword, so I will remove remove this, and remove this. Okay, so this is removed. Okay, now let's have this handle submit. So, but in functional, we have this const handle submit, and instead of this dot name dot inputter, you'll see that this keyword I'm removing. So this keyword I'm removing, and instead of this component did mount, what I will have? I'll have a use effect in the component did mount way. I'll have the use effect in the component did mount way, like this, and then we just have this thing. But instead of the just again, like instead of the this keyword, I can directly have this focus. So I'll save this thing, and then I will show, I will go here, and then I will have a comment this things out, and this things out, and then I will do a refs demo, save it. See, this is showing perfect. Inspect console and go, then do this is good, and then I'll submit it, and this is done. So this, we are done with everything in React basics, beginners to advanced. There is advanced to master also, which is there on the on our YouTube channel, but we are not going to do that soon this month. We have some other plans for the new year and all, so those things we're not going to do. And tomorrow there is 3-hour workshop, so those who are not attached to us, okay, one sec, I will do one thing. Okay, so we have a lot of WhatsApp. So one sec. So this, what will be the next? Okay. So stay connected with us, and you can know much about it. Okay. So stay connected on WhatsApp. Stay connected on WhatsApp. I have sent you all. So with this, we are going to end today's stream, and we are done with everything. I hope you have filled the attendance form. Please fill the attendance form. Okay, please fill the attendance form. And if you have not filled it yet, please fill it. And with this, we'll end today's stream. Thank you. Thank you all.